Hi guys, it's Jackie here, and I just wanted to say, first of all, I did not expect to be on video today. It's probably very obvious. My kids and I have been stuck in the house all week with the flu, so that's been fun. They're finally at school today for the first day in a week. I am thrilled to have a quiet house, so I wanted just to pop on real quick and add a bit of an intro to this video. I really wanted to show you guys today how to use collage to get a painting unstuck. So I was flipping through my sketchbook. I found kind of the beginnings of a painting that, I mean, it's nothing great. It's just kind of the beginning of a painting. I didn't know what to do next with it, so I just moved on and wanted to go back to it today and see if I could add something and give it a little spunk and, I don't know, just play with it. And I wanted to also, I used a tip from my new friend Connie. Hi Connie. I'll link to her video as well in the notes, but she had a suggestion to not be overwhelmed with collage, just to pick, a handful of papers and limit yourself to just those papers. So you're not endlessly trying to find new scraps and new things to add to your painting or your collage. And I took her advice on this, and it was really fun. I like having limitations because otherwise I get overwhelmed with infinite choices. So I picked 5 papers, 6 papers, I'm not sure. You can see in a moment. And I limited myself to just adding those, and I added a few marks with a pen. I believe it was a Pitt pen. Yes, it was a Pitt pen. And I just had fun. And I like where they are now much more than when they began. I don't know that they're finished mixed media pieces, but there's a lot more that I like in them now than I did when I started. All right, so let's get started. Okay, everybody, so this is where I started. Not a terrible piece, but certainly not a finished piece. It's kind of boring, kind of drab, and let's see if we can spice this up. The papers that I chose them for the variety, I chose them for the color, and I am a sucker for high contrast black and white. So that's where I started. The pages as they are, there's no great powerful focal point. Adding some black and white, however, instantly gives them a focal point. You could argue maybe too much of one, but you gotta start somewhere. Again, I'm using some gloss medium to fix these to the page. You can use matte medium, you can use Mod Podge. You can use Elmer's glue. Now this netting is actually from a bag of grapefruit. It's red color with some teal paint on it because I was using it for some mono printing last week. It proved to be very tricky to glue down to the page. Kept popping up. All those teeny little lines didn't want to stay down. Then every time I scraped them with the color shaper, after I put the gloss medium on, started flicking off teal paint. So it was interesting, learning experience. But it added such a different texture. It's very tactile. You can feel each little line when you touch the page. I decided it was worth it. Some tissue paper now with some ovals that I mono printed earlier on my jelly plate. This Celadon color is called Titan Green Pale, and I'd already used some on the background layers, so just reincorporating that. With collage, you want to find a balance of enough sameness that things feel like they fit and they belong on the page, but enough difference and enough contrast that it's still interesting. In the beginning, I feel like the page had enough that was the same, but didn't have enough that it was interesting to me. This blue shape I tried fitting in all over the place. I'll leave it as a cliffhanger so that you can think about whether I actually got it in. You can place your bets now. I am a sucker for red. If you've watched any of my videos or seen any of my art, that's probably very obvious. It always packs a nice punch. And since I had glued down some, right angles and rectangles, I wanted to soften it up a bit with some arches. Most of my collage work is just deciding where to put things, and deciding what design makes sense to me in that moment. For some reason, there seems to be, it's a very much a gut feel as to something works or doesn't work, and where it works. I couldn't explain to you logically why things work and where they don't work. It's just an intuitive thing, and I'm sure every artist has their reasons for where they put things and what they add. And again, same thing here. It's just different enough. The shape is different enough. It's not a circle, it's an arch. It's actually 3 arches. And it's bright red. Here comes the blue piece again. Will it work? Will it work? Nope, not this time. Alright, so I initially taped the edges when it was just the background piece, adding some more tape so that I can draw some lines more freely and not worry about accidentally drawing on the edges. You don't have to have edges. I just like to have the crisp white edges. It frames the artwork nicely. And it's aesthetically pleasing to me. So here I chose a fine tipped pit pen because I didn't have any very thin, delicate lines. Some more black and white contrast. This is the opposite. This is, more black than white. So I'm using, as I mentioned before, I'm using just these several collage papers, and I'm working within that limitation just to try it out. Connie did it, seemed like a great idea, because I often get overwhelmed if I have my entire box of collage paper in front of me and I've got 200 sheets of paper and a whole bunch of scraps. The possibilities are endless and it's kind of decision overload. It also ties these two pieces together. They started off, I made the backgrounds at the same time. It keeps them as a nice little pair with common elements. I didn't need to do both of the red pieces as arches, I just chose to. Now these are the pieces as they are now. I'm not sure they're finished, but they're certainly much further along than they were in the beginning. Thanks everybody, let me know what you think. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more. Bye!